Donald John Trump is guilty of 34 felony charges. After 7 long weeks, the courtroom is empty and Donald Trump's diaper is full.
The drama surrounding Donald Trump just reached a new peak, and Jimmy Kimmel didn't miss a beat in adding his signature comedic spin to it. Following the verdict that found Trump guilty on all 34 counts in the hush money case, Kimmel unleashed a roast that had everyone talking. Jimmy Kimmel hilariously tore into Trump, mocking the former president's courtroom demeanor. He quipped about Trump spending his days in court, sitting, sleeping, and farting, suggesting that all of Trump's supposed efforts were in vain.
Poor Donald Trump, 7 weeks of sleep farting, all down the drain, all for nothing. You do have to hand it to him, no president has ever been convicted more than Donald Trump. How long before he starts bragging about this?
Kimmel even took it a step further, imagining himself as the judge and delivering a comedic verdict against Trump. The late-night host painted a vivid and laugh-inducing picture of the courtroom antics. The real bombshell, of course, is the conviction itself. Donald J. Trump, the former president and the leading 2024 Republican nominee, was found guilty of 34 felony counts of falsifying business records.
Foreman, have you reached a verdict?
Yes, we have, Your Honor.
On the first charge of falsifying business records?
Guilty.
On the second charge?
Guilty.
On the third charge?
Guilty.
On the next 31 charges?
Guilty, 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 guilty!
That's right.
This case, which revolves around a payment made to silence a porn star, has rocked the political landscape. Trump's legal woes are now front and center, with the implications of this verdict reaching far beyond the courtroom. Meanwhile, Kimmel's comedic take provides a lighter, though biting perspective on the serious legal troubles Trump faces.
Maybe he isn't Teflon. Maybe he's one of those sticky trapped for rats. We don't know. Maybe he's a wet pocket full of gummy worms. After the verdict, a PO'd former POTUS marched over reporters outside court to let his displeasure be known.
As the dust settles from this latest twist, all eyes will be on how Trump and his supporters respond.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. But the real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA, and the whole thing, we didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end and we'll win.
One thing's for sure, Jimmy Kimmel isn't letting up on the former president anytime soon. Naturally, Kimmel didn't hold back on Trump and shared his thoughts. Let's hear what Kimmel had to say.
Is it possible that his gas is knocking him unconscious? I mean, how bored could you be at your own trial?
During the May 20th, 2024 hearing, an unusual incident occurred when Jimmy Kimmel noticed Robert Costello, a member of Trump's defense team and former advisor to Michael Cohen, staring oddly at the judge, leading to the courtroom being cleared. Kimmel then discussed how Trump's defense team was trying everything to discredit Cohen and his credibility. It remains to be seen what Kimmel's opinion on this will be.
Michael Cohen, Trump's lawyers, they've been working to paint Michael Cohen as a sleazy liar who's hell-bent on revenge, while conveniently leaving out the fact that Trump used him as his own personal Venmo. And Cohen was on the stand for 4 days testifying against Trump.
When Stormy Daniels received $130,000 as hush money to conceal her affair with Trump, Michael Cohen was the one who made the payment on the president's orders. Despite Cohen testifying against Trump, his former defense team seems to have conveniently ignored this fact and is now targeting him instead. But let's shift to a lighter story involving Cohen and his duties under Trump. It turns out Cohen was tasked with overseeing the creation of wax figures of both Trump and Melania. Surprisingly, Cohen was put in charge of ensuring their satisfaction with the wax likenesses. While this may seem odd for a lawyer, it's not unexpected given Trump's habit of sending Cohen on strange errands. Jimmy Kimmel wasted no time in mocking Trump and Melania for the poor quality of their wax figures.
4 days testifying against Trump. Among his many revelations was that one of his duties for the family was consulting on Melania Trump's Madame Tussauds wax museum negotiation. You know, they build those. This is not a joke, by the way. He was in charge of making sure the sculptor got her dead-eyed scowl.
Likely causing significant embarrassment for Trump globally.
I like that there's a wax figure of Melania. That means every night there are 2 Melanias who won't sleep with Donald Trump.
Kimmel didn't end there. He also brought up Trump's son's high school graduation scheduled for May 17th, 2024. Trump had declared on his social media platform Truth Social that he would be present at the event. This announcement followed the court granting him permission to attend and rescheduling his hearing. But what was Trump's motive for attending?
There was no court on Friday because so Trump could go to his son Barron's high school graduation. Remember the one he was screaming about, saying the judge wouldn't let him go to his son's graduation? Well, he was allowed to go to his son's graduation and almost immediately fell asleep there, too. He sat down, closed his eyes. He said, "I don't wake me when they get to the letter T."
While on his way to the ceremony, Trump logged onto Truth Social and posted the following message.
He wrote, "Going to Barron's high school graduation. Great student, wonderful boy, very exciting, DJT." What a beautiful fatherly post. Isn't that so personal? It's like what you would say to your schnauzer after a graduated obedience school. What a wonderful boy.
Going to Barrett's high school graduation, great student, wonderful boy. Very exciting, DJT. What a touching fatherly gesture. It's almost as intimate as praising your schnauzer after graduating from obedience school. Such a proud moment. Donald Trump's private graduation ceremony featured some interesting photos, showcasing him with rather questionable facial expressions. One photo in particular grabbed Jimmy's attention, and he was adamant about incorporating it into his roast. He kicked off by displaying a snapshot of Trump, his wife, and her father.
But there are a lot of photos of the proud parents. 54-year-old Melania spent the ceremony wedged between her 77-year-old husband and her 80-year-old dad, dressed like a gondolier in mourning.
If you found that amusing, just wait until you hear what he said next.
Donald, you can see Donald himself had an absolute blast. He's same face he made when Eric was born. The crowd in Florida was actually quite delighted to see when Dad waved his little hand at his son.
Moreover, Kimmel excused Barron for his actions.
Trump let Barron borrow one of his giant red fat guy ties to drape around his shoulder.
Being publicly ridiculed in such a manner is undoubtedly embarrassing, but Kimmel didn't hold back, subjecting Trump to a relentless barrage of criticism.
Donald Trump, I was thinking about this, has ever taken a picture of any of his children? I mean, Ivanka, obviously, but any of the rest of his children? I'm trying to imagine it, and I can't.
Ouch, that must have stung. Trump supporters recently accused him of having inappropriate feelings towards his daughter. Naturally, Jimmy Kimmel couldn't resist poking fun at this during his show, but that's not where it ended. Jimmy was also dismayed to find out that Trump didn't give a speech at his son Barron's graduation, so he took it upon himself to craft a humorous version of what he imagined Trump's speech would have been like. Despite Trump's fondness for the limelight, he was a no-show at his own son's significant event.
Pomp than Trump. And when it comes to wisdom, he has a lot to offer to these young graduates, but since he didn't, we took the liberty of cobbling together some of his more inspirational moments to make this speech for his son's graduating class.
Let me begin by saying to each member of the graduating class, congratulations. You can do things that stupid people can't do. As we pursue this bright future, we must hold accountable the nation which unleashed this plague onto the world, China. You all see the future. The future is bleak. How are your eyes? Because they won't be good in 5 years. Hot dogs. Let's talk about hot dogs. I just had one, actually. You have a better chance of being struck by lightning than hitting a whale with your boat. The late, great Hannibal Lecter. He's a wonderful man. If you'd like to see a nice bird cemetery, walk under a windmill sometime.
But there's more to it than just that, despite its inspirational aspect.
Never, ever call Chris Christie a fat pig, ever.
I'm with you 100%. I wish you a lot of luck.
Work hard, do the best you can, and remember what I said. No drugs, no alcohol. Have a good life. The American dream is dead.
Keep your laughter in check until you witness the grand finale.
For a guy who claims he doesn't use a teleprompter, he got pretty upset about his teleprompter.
How about that? Before I got up, the teleprompter fell down. That's great. Great going, fellas, back there. Then they want to know why I didn't pay the bill. You know, I get a lot of heat.
Jimmy's masterful compilation is a real mood lifter, especially if you're in need of some good laughs. In one episode of Kimmel's show, he jests about a speech Trump delivered in Minnesota on May 17th, 2024. During this speech, Trump bragged about paying his bills, which is quite humorous considering he had just complained about the malfunctioning teleprompter.
When he doesn't pay the bill. Except for the heating bill. When he doesn't pay that, he gets no heat at all. But who brags about stiffing workers on a stage at a campaign event?
Oh, how delightful. The teleprompter decided to malfunction right before I took the stage. Hats off to the crew for that one.
I just want to debate this guy, but you know, and I'm gonna demand a drug test too, by the way. I am. No, I really am.
I don't want him coming in like the State of the Union. He was high as a kite.
Despite his well-known aversion to teleprompters, former President Donald Trump surprised everyone by agreeing to 2 debates with his then opponent, Joe Biden, in June and September. This unexpected twist left not only the American public, but also the North Korean leader, Kim Jong-un, bewildered, as Jimmy Kimmel highlighted in a recent monologue. Trump's decision to participate in the debates wasn't the only surprising aspect of this development. The former president also introduced some additional rules to the debates. As he's known to do, these rules covered the format, timing, and even the moderators of the debates. For many Americans, the debates were an opportunity to see the 2 candidates face off and present their ideas to the public. However, for Kim Jong-un, the debates were likely viewed as yet another example of the unpredictability of American politics. North Korea has long been a source of tension and concern for the United States, and the volatile relationship between the 2 nations has only been exacerbated by Trump's unorthodox approach to diplomacy. Despite the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, the debates proceeded as scheduled, with both candidates presenting their cases to the American people. Ultimately, Biden emerged victorious in the election, bringing an end to Trump's presidency. Nevertheless, the debates will surely be remembered as a significant moment in the 2020 election cycle, reflecting the ongoing political turmoil in the United States.
That's right. Sleepy Joe, he can barely put 2 sentences together, but he's also firing on all cylinders when he's on cocaine. What is this? What are they going to test him for? Sarsaparilla? I mean, really. And are we to believe that taking drugs makes one a better debater? I don't know if any of you have any experience with drugs. Well, from what I've gathered, that is not usually the case.
Kimmel was left stunned by Trump's recent demand for additional conditions after already agreeing to participate in the debate.
Of course, Trump might not have to worry about any of this because he could be locked up on Rikers Island for the debates. It's a real possibility.
As the criminal trial of the accused nears its conclusion, the specter of a conviction hangs heavily over his head. The potential ramifications of such a conviction are severe, with the possibility of imprisonment very real. This has understandably caused a great deal of worry and anxiety for the accused and his loved ones as they grapple with the uncertainty of the future. Given these developments, Kimmel felt compelled to make an additional comment on the matter. He expressed sympathy for the accused and his family, acknowledging the stress and emotional turmoil they must be enduring at this challenging time. He also stressed the importance of due process and the presumption of innocence, underscoring the need to allow the legal system to take its course and justice to prevail. Simultaneously, Kimmel recognized the gravity of the charges the accused faces and the potential harm inflicted upon others. He emphasized the necessity of accountability and for those who have suffered harm to receive justice and closure. However, he also emphasized the importance of compassion and understanding, urging all involved parties to approach the situation with empathy and mutual respect. Ultimately, the outcome of this trial remains uncertain, but one thing is certain: it is a complex and emotionally charged situation that requires careful consideration and thoughtful reflection from all sides. Only by working together and approaching the matter with integrity and compassion can we hope to achieve a fair and just resolution that upholds the values of our legal system and respects the dignity of all involved. Today, we have some intriguing legal gossip to share. It appears that Ben Miller, one of the founders of Midas Touch and a vocal opponent of Trump, created a TikTok video that has gained immense popularity. In this video, he mentions credible insiders who claim that Trump passed gas during a court appearance.
He's actually farting in the courtroom and that it's very stinky around him. It's a putrid odor in the courtroom, and that Trump's lawyers are like repulsed by the scent and the smell. And I'm not just saying that to be like, oh, funny. I'm actually, we have good sources there. And I'm hearing it from actual credible people.
Jimmy Kimmel, the late-night talk show host, renowned for his sharp humor and wit, couldn't resist poking fun at President Donald Trump's recent courtroom antics. Trump was summoned to testify in a lawsuit against his former university, but he appeared displeased about it. Throughout the proceedings, he repeatedly interrupted and argued with the judge and opposing lawyers, causing quite a stir. Kimmel, who isn't a fan of the president, seized this opportunity to mock him on his show the next night, holding up a newspaper with a photo of Trump scowling in court. Addressing his audience, Kimmel remarked, "Have you all seen this? This is what happens when you put a reality TV star in charge of the country. He thinks everything is a performance and he's the star. But let me be clear, Mr. President, this isn't a game. This is a court of law and it deserves respect." During his monologue, Kimmel made a point of emphasizing that his assessment of the proceedings was not biased, as he considered himself a fair person. He also took a dig at Trump's hair, comparing it to a golden retriever caught in a wind tunnel. The audience responded with enthusiasm, and the video quickly went viral online. While some Trump supporters were offended by Kimmel's comments and accused him of disrespecting the president, Kimmel remained unfazed and continued to use his platform to critique Trump. "Some people say I shouldn't be poking fun at the president," he declared on a subsequent episode, but the truth is, he just makes it too easy. Recent developments in the legal battle involving former President Donald Trump have taken an unexpected twist. Reports have surfaced indicating that he has been nodding off and passing gas during the trial proceedings. On April 15th, Maggie Haberman of the New York Times reported on Trump's apparent drowsiness, sparking a frenzy on social media. Ben Jealous later came forward with claims that the unmistakable scent of flatulence was not a one-time occurrence. The situation has only contributed to the circus-like atmosphere of the trial, making it increasingly uncomfortable for those involved. Despite the unusual nature of the allegations, Ben is confident in the credibility of his sources and witnesses. He maintains that he has no intention of fabricating a story for personal gain or entertainment, and insists that he witnessed a genuine incident. Several others have come forward to corroborate similar experiences, including George Conway, Kellyanne Conway's husband. The media frenzy surrounding the allegations has escalated, with many questioning the potential health implications of Trump's reported dozing and flatulence. The ongoing legal proceedings involving a former president have sparked debate over the expected level of decorum and professionalism in such a setting, while some argue that the focus should solely be on substantive issues. Others argue that the defendant's behavior is relevant to the case. The recent unusual developments surrounding Trump's health have added further complexity to the already contentious trial. It remains to be seen how the allegations of dozing off and flatulence will impact the case's outcome, but they have already seized the attention of both the media and the public and are likely to be discussed extensively. Kellyanne Conway, a former counselor to President Trump, made a claim that attracted media interest, alleging that a source provided her with information that could potentially become a meme. Snopes attempted to verify the claim but was unsuccessful. The story had all the makings of a viral meme, and news outlets were eager to cover it. However, major news agencies hesitated to report on it without verified evidence. Nevertheless, some individuals still shared the unverified claim on social media platforms, enticed by the prospect of a potential meme. As time passed, the claim remained unverified and unreported by major news agencies. It's unclear whether the source identified by Conway was genuine or if the claim was simply a bid for media attention. Nonetheless, the incident serves as a cautionary tale for those who propagate unverified information in pursuit of online recognition. Throughout his time in the public eye, Donald Trump has been no stranger to controversy and scandal. Whether it's his questionable business practices or his divisive rhetoric, he has been involved in numerous controversies. Now, social media is buzzing with rumors of his flatulence. While some may dismiss these rumors as inconsequential, they actually underscore a larger issue: the public's fixation on the personal lives of public figures. Our society has developed an obsession with the private lives of celebrities and politicians, often neglecting more significant issues. While the rumors surrounding Trump's alleged flatulence may garner attention, it's crucial to remember the pressing matters facing our nation and the world. Regardless of the validity of these rumors, Trump's presidency has been marred by controversy and scandal, from his provocative tweets to his divisive policies. He has deeply divided the nation and ignited heated debates. While some may find the rumors about Trump's flatulence entertaining, others view them with concern. It serves as a stark reminder of our society's tendency to fixate on the personal lives of public figures. Despite the allure of the latest scandal or uproar, it's imperative that we remain focused on the issues that truly matter. Only then can we make strides toward a fairer and more just world. Rudy Giuliani, former mayor mayor of New York City and a legal advisor to Donald Trump, has been captured on camera releasing gas multiple times, including during a court testimony. Despite a gag order in place for Trump, he continues to flout it regularly. Implementing a stricter order would likely be futile, as Trump appears unlikely to adhere to it. The trial for Trump's alleged criminal activities commenced on Monday, with the first witness providing testimony and opening statements delivered. Trump expressed apprehension regarding the witness's identity due to intimidation concerns, but his repeated violation of the gag order has rendered this concern moot. The trial will soon address the contentious issue of Trump's social media posts, which have left him incensed over perceived censorship. However, not everyone shares Trump's viewpoint on the trial and the gag order. Fox News and other Trump supporters are disseminating false information, asserting that the trial is unjust and will harm the presidency, the nation, and the world. Judge Juan Marin is currently tasked with determining whether former President Donald Trump breached the gag order by discussing jurors and witnesses on his newly launched social media platform, Truth. The controversy escalated when Trump hinted at the existence of additional individuals who could testify in his legal disputes, including adult film actress Stormy Daniels and his former personal lawyer Michael Cohen, whom he derogatorily referred to as "issy bags." Despite the potential breach of the gag order, Trump supporters remain unwavering in their loyalty to him. It's both noteworthy and concerning to observe the lack of awareness among those who continue to applaud Trump despite his questionable conduct. The former president has been entangled in numerous legal battles and scandals throughout his tenure in office, and it appears probable that he will eventually be found guilty of some of the allegations against him. Trump's decision to launch his own social media platform, Truth, amidst these legal battles is a bold move that has sparked criticism from both his supporters and critics. Some have commended him for standing up against what they perceive as censorship and bias in the mainstream media, while others have condemned him for using the platform to disseminate misinformation and propaganda. Regardless of one's stance on Trump and his actions, it's evident that the ongoing legal battles are far from resolved, with Judge Barron tasked with determining whether Trump breached the gag order. There is considerable uncertainty surrounding the former president's future. However, one thing is certain: the world will be closely monitoring as this saga unfolds. In a peculiar turn of events, there are even rumors circulating that Trump emitted a loud fart while in court. While this may seem trivial, it serves as a reminder that even in the midst of serious legal battles, there is still room for levity and humor. Whether these rumors are true or not, one thing remains clear: the Trump saga is far from concluded. Jimmy Kimmel, as usual, mercilessly criticizes the current president, whom he affectionately refers to as the F-King and the dumpy Trump, while also touching on Stormy Daniels' recent revelations about the size of Donald Trump's genitalia. This has stirred considerable controversy among Trump supporters who are already struggling to keep up with the latest developments. Kimmel doesn't halt his critique there, instead taking aim at other members of the Republican Party, including Ted Cruz. It's a display of efficiency, hitting two targets with one shot, or, as politicians might say, garnering bipartisan support. Kimmel begins by underscoring the absurdity of the trial, which has transformed into somewhat of a circus. If you can't even manage to stay awake for your own trial, how can you be expected to lead a country of over 330 million people? It seems that Trump's popularity is dwindling faster than his ability to stay awake. His efforts to discredit Stormy Daniels as a money-hungry liar are comical but not unexpected given their apparent compatibility. Perhaps they should market Trump's nap time as a cure for insomnia. Guaranteed to knock you out faster than one of his rallies, Jimmy Kimmel adeptly exposes Trump's flaws, leaving only the stenographer dissatisfied with Trump and his team of charlatans. Trump is out as his eyes are closed for several minutes, chin jutting out. It's quite remarkable that even in the solemn environment of our legal system, where words like Constitution carry great weight, we can still find ourselves entangled in such absurdity. Today is an exceptionally peculiar day for court reporters. Phrases such as human toilet, orange turd, and make America horny again seem more fitting for a stand-up comedy routine than a legal setting. Although a courtroom camera may seem like the optimal way to witness the ongoing Trump saga, the real unsung hero is the sketch artist. Let's give credit where it's due. Kimmel astutely applauds the artists for their creativity in turning a laptop into a bikini-clad beauty and portraying two individuals, doubling the effort. Kimmel adeptly transforms an unusual courtroom scenario into a comedic goldmine while simultaneously highlighting the absurdity of Trump's legal proceedings. Trump's legal team persistently clings to the narrative that he did not not engage in sexual activity with the woman in question, as if it were a fairy tale. However, this is the same man who has faced numerous lawsuits and allegations of failing to pay everyone from plumbers to painters. Are we expected to believe that he wrote a $130,000 check to a porn star out of the goodness of his heart? Leave it to Kimmel to spin a courtroom quirk into comedy gold while simultaneously dismantling the notion that attempting to market a seaside estate in the Antarctic is a futile endeavor. However, it appears that the saying, "birds of a feather flock together," rings true, as evidenced by Ted Cruz's alignment with Joe Biden alongside Donald Trump's contentious assertions. While Trump's legal team tirelessly disputes Stormy Daniels' allegations, Cruz takes a divergent stance during his appearance on Fox News. The irony of the situation isn't lost on observers. Ted's careless remark provided Jimmy with the perfect opportunity to ramp up his ongoing mockery of these fraudsters. Thanks, Ted. That's sure to make Mother's Day with Melania quite entertaining this year. Observing Jimmy's takedown of the fraudsters, especially Ted, is like witnessing a culinary master turn mundane leftovers into a gourmet meal. His sharp wit is both delightful and captivating, yet Jimmy goes further, exposing Trump's transgressions, even revealing the exact size of the prison cell that would accommodate Connell McDonald for violating the esteemed Constitution. Earlier this week, a judge warned Trump that his 11th breach of the gag order could lead to serious imprisonment. Jimmy makes a compelling point by vividly illustrating Trump's potential legal woes. While Trump may envision himself as a martyr in his grandiose fantasies, no one willingly swaps their lavish suite for a cramped prison cell. Trump might attempt to portray his confinement as a luxurious 5,000 square foot space with a balcony, but the harsh reality would dawn once the cell doors clank shut. This situation is rich in irony, as a man who built his empire on excess now faces the stark reality of incarceration. Jimmy throws some simple yet uproarious jabs at Trump, and New York Mayor Eric Adams even suggests that Rikers Island is ready for Trump if he's held for contempt. Not only does Jimmy provide comedic relief, but he also speaks some hard truths. President Biden's skepticism of Trump's willingness to accept election results isn't surprising. Dealing with a perpetual sore loser is like Groundhog Day. They cry foul when they win and still bemoan their losses. Even prominent Republicans refuse to accept defeat, prompting the question of why we bother with elections if some are set on playing the sore loser card. Despite this, MAGA supporters continue to stand by their dubious heroes. Jimmy reminds us that democracy deserves better. Imagine gearing up for a 9-inning baseball game only for your opponents to declare they won't recognize the score if you emerge victorious. Would you even bother stepping onto the field? Here we are, with Republicans openly declaring that it's heads they win, tails let's storm the Capitol again. It's akin to playing a game with rigged rules and dire consequences. President Biden stands as a beacon of democratic principles in action. His unwavering dedication to serving the American people and upholding the integrity of our judicial institutions is commendable. Donald Trump's tenure has been marred by a plethora of controversy since his foray into politics. His tumultuous presidency has been riddled with scandals, controversies, and allegations that have irreversibly tarnished his reputation. Among the most significant controversies is his infamous affair with Stormy Daniels, revealed in 2018. The alleged liaison, dating back to 2006, has remained a persistent thorn in Trump's side since its public disclosure. The scandal not only besmirched his reputation, but also cast doubts on his moral character and integrity. Moreover, Trump's presidency has been dogged by accusations of election tampering. Many Americans contend that Trump's triumph lacked legitimacy and that he secured victory through fraudulent means. These allegations have been fueled by Trump's own statements, which have often been contradictory and misleading. The controversy surrounding the 2020 election has further sullied Trump's reputation and has left an indelible mark on American politics. The lingering question now is, what should be done about Donald Trump? Some argue that he should be held answerable for his actions and face impeachment or prosecution for his purported crimes. Others posit that he should fade into obscurity and that efforts should focus on restoring trust in American democracy. Regardless of the outcome, one fact remains evident. Donald Trump's reputation has taken a severe hit due to his actions and the controversy surrounding his presidency. It remains to be seen if he can recover from these scandals and regain the trust of the American people. His mishandling of the COVID-19 pandemic, dismissal of the Black Lives Matter movement, and consistent attacks on journalists have painted a negative image of his leadership. Furthermore, his steadfast MAGA supporters, like Ted Cruz, have only exacerbated the division in our nation as we approach the upcoming election. It is imperative to elect a president who prioritizes serving the people over his own interests. This decision is about progress versus regression, integrity versus scandal, and democracy versus demagoguery. Jimmy Kimmel isn't hesitant to remind Donald Trump of reality.